Welcome to another episode of the Mad Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Begley, Goni, and Wayne.
What is up, Mad Mob?
Wow.
Yeah.
What is up?
That was a robust one. Came from the diaphragm.
Buffer-esque.
Yeah. Week 5. We're going with the rest of the week 5 games. DFS lineups. What happened? Oh, yeah. We got to go over what happened last week as well, and overall standings. Gentlemen.
We do. Are we going to hit on the CTFL, or has Goni officially labeled it an unmentionable?
Spoiler alert, I'm in last. There we go. I'll just get it out the way.
We can hit the CTFL.
Yeah.
I think we should.
We'll hit them all every week. I mean,
didn't we hit
I don't know why you're asking.
We hit the CTFL in the week review. Right?
I thought we did it at the same time we did our fantasy lineups, right? Our DFS plays. Am I wrong?
I think we did it on the review also.
I don't know. Because I distinctly remember talking about you having a phenomenal week.
You're right. I did. You're right.
Oh gosh, sorry YouTube. This is what happens in the background of our little podcast here, man.
So
all right, I'll run through it really quick again. Goni had 67.56 this week. I had 56.44. You had 135.42. Bringing the totals to 249.04 for Goni, 341.22 for me, 403.04 for you. Big week. You rode Jared Goff and TJ Hawkinson to almost 80 points between them two. So that's the CTFL this week, in case we didn't mention it.
I'm beating you guys without a flex because I chose Jamison Williams.
I'm pretty sure we all are missing players.
I even have players in my lineup that just don't play.
I have a permanent 0 in my flex spot. You guys at least have got something.
Kadarius Toney and Kenny Golladay might as well be permanent 0s, man.
Let's be honest, dude. You're not going to get 80 out of Hawkinson and Goff every week. Calm down.
That's what I'm saying. I needed it because I have a permanent 0.
Did you have the updates on the records as well? The crappy team records?
Oh, I did.
Yeah, you got to throw those in as well. Updates all around.
Dude, I could have swore we did because we were talking so much trash about you this week.
Goni's got a sneaky good duo here.
Me and Goni are tied 3 and 5.
Okay.
We're both tied at 3 and 5. Begley's 500.
Ooh, let's go. The G-Men carrying me.
You say 500? So 4 and 4?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the G-Men, bro. 3 and 1.
The G-Men.
Big win last week. Zachary Wilson winning me doinks, which Goni, you're scared. He got 20 points first game.
Yeah, it's kind of rough.
You're scared to death. He's catching up to Justin Fields.
Justin Fields for LVP.
Let's go. You thought that was a lock, too. You were so excited to make that doink.
I was. I talked so much trash in the offseason and week 1 and week 2 and week 3. I deserve this.
You look really dumb.
Not yet.
Wayne, do you mind if I shoehorn the intro here?
Go ahead.
I want to ask you guys a question. So I can't take credit for it, but I saw it on Reddit, and I thought it was a really interesting question. What do you guys consider your golden rule of fantasy? Like, what's something you do every fantasy season? It's a hard, fast rule. You live and die by it every year. I'll start with you.
2 strong running backs, man, every time. Generally, at least recently over the years, and I know Wayne has been in the same position, but we always get put in the back whenever it comes to a startup or a redraft, just any kind of draft order. We're always anywhere between 10 and 12, usually within a spot or 2 from each other. So we know each other's strategies pretty well. We know kind of who the other one's going for. We've played fantasy long enough as well, but I usually always like to go running back, running back. I feel like that is a good foundation for your team. Wide receivers come and go, all season, and I feel like that's just a more easily replaceable position. So that's my golden rule. Take 2 strong running backs.
What do you think, Wayne?
My golden rule has always been to take personal fanhood out of fantasy decisions. I personally this year, I'm in five leagues, and excluding one dynasty that's like 4 years deep, I own no Buccaneers. And that's not me saying avoid people that you're a fan of. It's just me saying, like, a lot of people tend to reach a little bit too high just to get the player that's on their team, and it's detrimental. So my thing is to just whenever I'm making a trade, whenever I'm drafting, whenever I'm dropping somebody, picking somebody up, any sort of roster decisions, I'd make sure to set all fanhood aside in the decision-making process.
I love it. That's a really good one. And what we were actually talking about before the show started, in dynasty leagues in particular, you can take advantage of the people that don't do that. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to currently fleece somebody who's a fan of the Eagles, and I have A.J. Brown, and I am trying my best to get a king's ransom for him.
And Mad Mob, the guy he's trying to trade him to, already has Miles Sanders, Jalen Hurts, and I think one other. I think Dallas Goedert, maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right.
And isn't he last in our league right now? Or second to last?
Yeah.
He's close to last for sure.
Yeah. I'm going to try. My hard rule of thumb, and Goni and Wayne don't really agree with this, so I'm kind of on an island here on the podcast, but I chase volume. And I like guys who get a lot of targets, get a lot of carries. It's all about volume in fantasy. Give me opportunity. Gone is more of a touchdown kind of guy. He likes the touchdown-dependent players. If he could roster Mike Evans, 6 times over, he would do it. Wayne, Jamal Williams is Wayne's favorite player. They like the touchdowns. I like the volume and the opportunity.
Okay.
That was the weirdest 60 seconds of my life. Like he put me in an absolute mind pretzel there.
Yeah.
Couldn't be more false on all accounts.
All right, so Begley's golden rule is to get players that are going to score a lot of points on a regular basis. That's a solid strat.
It is. Now look, man, it's in all seriousness, I was obviously if you're not watching on YouTube, you should see the shame written on their faces. I'm just trying to say, people get seduced by touchdowns. Go for the opportunity. It's why we were high on Darnell Mooney to start the year. It didn't hit so far, but he's a volume guy. Should have been.
Probably too late now.
Yeah.
Is it too late now?
He first double-digit game last week. We'll see.
I dropped him, man. In a redraft league, I dropped him.
I dropped him also.
Yeah.
We'll see. I can't drop him yet. Not after his best week.
In a redraft?
I still got him in our WWCD league.
Wow. You're a better man than me. It'll pay off for you.
But there's not a lot of our waiver wire is very slim in that league, so that's the main reason. I haven't held on to him because I think he's going to go nuts. I've just held on to him because the options that are available to me aren't much better, so I'll take the potential upside than whoever I could snag off the waiver in his place.
I like it.
All right. Let's jump into it, shall we? I believe the first 4 o'clock game, actually, let me double check before I get rolling, is the 49ers-Panthers, right? Yes, 49ers-Panthers. It's 49ers in Carolina. Carolina plus 6.5. The over-under is set at 39.
Don't love it. Definitely don't love it.
No, this is a game I would stay away from as a bettor. Man, as bad as Baker's looked, how can you put money on Baker? Give me the Niners. Give me the over, but it's going to be close. McCaffrey and Debo are the only 2 guys I feel great about in this game. Maybe Jeff Wilson?
Kittle?
No.
No Kittle, huh?
I mean, if you have Kittle, you're playing him. I just don't feel great about him.
You're not firing up Brandon Ayuk?
Not this week.
Man, that's Begley's boy.
Is it my boy, or did I just was I able to just blast Wayne's skull in with it one week? It was an easy read.
Both.
Wasn't a blast. It was a gentle tap.
Yeah, I haven't bet on him since for a reason. It was just such a good matchup.
Yeah, give me the 49ers as well. But even so, I don't feel good about it. I really don't. Give me the under. I feel like we've got just defense here. Panthers have a pretty good defense as well. It's not like Jimmy G is phenomenal or anything. His playmakers make the plays, really. He gains a lot of yardage by, after the catch kind of contributions from guys like Debo. So
yeah,
give me the under on it. I don't love it. You've pretty much covered everyone that we would play. Would you play Jimmy in this game if you have to? One quarterback, obviously. Stream?
No.
Nah.
I don't think so either.
I'd rather
You got
play
Wayne.
Geno Smith.
Give me Carolina. Give me the under. Not a lot of fantasy action in this one, unfortunately. Not riding with DJ Moore this week. CMC, obviously. I think CMC is the only Panther. Debo, George. I'm running with George Kittle this week for sure, especially with what you paid for him. You almost have to start him if he's on your roster.
Sure.
But overall, not a lot of action in this one. Our next game, Eagles at Cardinals. Cardinals +5. The over-under is set at 49.
Give me the Eagles. I think they keep rolling. Give me the over. I like a lot. I think this is going to be a good fantasy game. I love A.J. Brown. I love Devonta Smith in this. I love Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert is a really nice play, and I think Miles Sanders is another great play.
Yeah, I'm taking the Eagles as well. I'm taking the over. The Eagles are the last remaining undefeated team in the league, boys. I mean, they're playing great football. And as of right now, the Cardinals are among the NFL's most just banged up teams. They had 9 guys miss practice, a couple of linemen. Hollywood Brown was one of them also. So, yeah, give me the over, give me the Eagles on that one. Do you play Greg Dortch this week is the question on everyone's mind.
Absolutely not. Rondell Moore took a lot of snaps from him last week.
But he didn't do anything with it.
He didn't, but he kept Dortch off the field. Dortch to me is borderline drop worthy.
Yeah, I agree. I actually agree. Dortch's fantasy value has run its course, in my opinion. I think Hollywood's the only receiver that you can start. Do y'all start James Conner this week?
No.
If I can help it, no.
Same.
No. I like Dallas Goedert a whole lot. I think he has great potential this week. I think he goes off. Cardinals are amongst the worst in the league at defending the tight end, so have that man slotted.
Yeah. I think Zach Ertz is probably a play this week just because of what Philly does to the outside guys,
Goddard versus Zach Ertz, doink bet?
No, I'm taking Goddard.
Man.
Yeah, I'm running with Philly in this one -5. Give me the over. Reluctantly. Yeah, I'm with you off.
Where's Jalen Hurts right now in your MVP race? I think I asked this last week, and then we had a week of football happen, and where's he slot now?
He's got to be at 2 now, right?
Behind?
Lamar?
So he's ahead of Josh Allen.
I think so at this point, dude.
I agree. 4-0 speaks for itself, Connie.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue with you. Honestly, I like it. I like it as of right now. But I think after this week, the hierarchy might change a little bit. He could slot up the number 1. Josh Allen's got a juicy matchup that I expect him to put up 30+ fantasy points.
Oh, it's close.
It should be a good week for fantasy football this week.
All right, our next game, the boring game of the week, Cowboys at Rams. Rams minus 5.5. Cowboys 5.5-point dogs, over under at 42.5.
And it's been bet up, which is kind of surprising. This is the Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys easy on this. Give me the over. It's Cooper Rush season, which I'm assuming that's why it got bet up, because there was a possibility of Dak coming back to start the week. Look, man, the Cowboys have the formula. Grind the game down, get the run game going, get Cooper Rush going, and play action. The Rams are surprisingly the worst defense against wide receivers. They've given up more wide receiver fantasy points than any other team in the league, which is kind of surprising. I like CeeDee Lamb and I like Gallup a lot in this game.
I don't love CeeDee Lamb at all. He's going to have Jalen Ramsey on him.
It hasn't mattered. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Jalen Ramsey has not
suppose,
been
man.
phenomenal this year.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't, but he's still Jalen Ramsey. I don't know, man. Dak Prescott didn't practice on Wednesday. He didn't practice on Thursday. So we're going to say Cooper Rush is playing. Do you play? I'm going to take the Rams, though, in this game. I'm going to take the under, though. I think it's going to be low scoring on both sides. Do you play any running backs here?
No, definitely not.
I'm sitting Zeke currently this week, in a couple leagues actually. So Tony Pollard, same thing. You might, if you need to in a pinch, you might get an explosive play. So maybe I would feel a little more comfortable with him. I think you're hoping for a goal line 1 or 2 yard touchdown out of Zeke, really, if you play him. And then on the other side of the ball, is it going to be Cam Akers or is it going to be Darrell Henderson?
You just don't know, and that's why you can't start either of them.
The week-old question that we ask.
Goni, would you do a doink bet? I'll take Tony Pollard. You take Zeke.
No, I just got done saying I'd rather play Tony Pollard over Zeke, man. Were you listening?
Yeah, I was. You're right. Pollard is the only guy to play, I think, out of the backfield. If Allen Robinson's going to break out, mark my words, this is the game to do it. He gets Anthony Brown. Wide receiver twos have feasted on Dallas all year long. If he's going to do it, this is it.
I've got an over-under for you guys, just because if you watched the game last week, I think Cooper Kupp had 19 targets. He was just forcing it in. I don't know if you saw the pick six by Hufanga on the 49ers. It literally smacked this man straight in the chest as he undercut the ball on a route out in the flat to Cooper Kupp at the end of the game. And over under 13.5 targets for Cooper Kupp this week.
If he gets the Diggs treatment, under.
Say he does. We'll just assume he does. So under?
Yeah.
Wayne?
Before last week, he was averaging 9.5 targets per game. So I still think 13.5 is a little bit over.
So
what
let's
he
bring it down
typically
to
has.
11.5.
So I would say under 13.5.
11.5. We'll make the line then.
I would go over 11.5.
I got it at 13.
13 targets is what you say?
That's what I got the line at, and I'm going to hold you to it.
Oh, I was going to bring you down as well on the targets. They apply for both. Either way, it just all goes back to whether or not Allen Robinson is going to actually get some play. He got one thrown up to him in the end zone where he was blanketed at the end of that game, and then Stafford went straight back to throwing a Cooper Kupp. So obviously you see that you're not winning games like that, which actually I saw a stat the other day anyways. I wouldn't really worry about it. They've lost 7 in a row to the 49ers. It's a divisional game. 49ers got their number. They beat the 49ers in the playoffs when it matters. So regular season, not really that big a deal to me. But I want to see Allen Robinson involved. I have this man on fantasy teams. We all do, I'm pretty sure. We want to see him get some play. You paid him a lot of money. Throw him the ball.
If he's going to do anything, it's this week. If he doesn't do anything this week against Anthony Brown, I'm dropping him.
Yikes. Fair enough.
Yikes indeed. All right, our next game, good divisional matchup. Bengals at Ravens. Ravens -3. Over-under is at 47.
Give me the Ravens. Give me the over. I think this is another fantasy-friendly game. I like Rashad Bateman to have himself a game.
I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I feel like this is a trap, though, honestly. I think it's kind of a little trappy. Bengals usually play the Ravens pretty well. With that being said, I'm going to take the Bengals, and I'm going to take the under for this game. Jamar Chase tore them up last year. Yeah, I don't know. I like it for him. I like T. Higgins in the game. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. You play your Joe Mixons, of course. You play Hayden Hurst. One of the streams of the week that I mentioned back on the waiver wire show. The Ravens secondary is pretty awful. I'd personally stream him if you're into that kind of thing.
Definitely.
J.K. Dobbins, you're rolling out, obviously. Devin Duvernay. Do you play Devin Duvernay in a pinch in a deep flex?
Negative.
Man, he's another guy where you're hoping for an explosion play touchdown. He only gets a couple receptions a game, and they've generally been big-time plays. So,
is Gus Edwards back this week, Goni?
He came off the pup. I don't know if he's going to play or not, though. Not yet, at least.
I'm curious to see the splits between him and J.K.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about Tyler Boyd?
Tyler Boyd? No.
Wayne? No?
No.
In a pinch. I would play him in a pinch.
I'd play him over Devin Duvernay for sure.
That's fair.
If we're just going with game matchup.
Wayne, do you go Tyler Boyd or do you go Noah Brown?
Tyler Boyd.
Tyler Boyd or Michael Gallup?
Gallup.
Michael Gallup.
Okay.
Give me the Bengals +3. Actually, give me the over. I think it's. I don't know. I think these offenses are both stellar, and they're going to show out. I think this is going to be a high-scoring one, personally.
Tyler Boyd or Allen Robinson?
A-Rob. I'd give A-Rob one more chance.
I would too.
This is the week to do it, man. I'm telling you.
All right. Monday night matchup. Raiders at Chiefs. Divisional matchup. Chiefs -7. Over-under at a whopping 51.
I feel pretty strongly about this one. Give me the Raiders in a divisional matchup and give me the under. Give me Josh Jacobs for 100 yards this game.
That's not outlandish.
That's my bold prediction of the week.
Give me the Raiders and the over in this game. Same thing. I think that the divisional matchup, I think that the Raiders I feel like the Raiders have been good enough in every game this season to only lose by 7 or less, really. I don't expect them to win, but I can see them covering the spread for sure.
We finally got a glimpse of what the Raiders could be last week. I think 7 is a big line in a division, so give me the Raiders plus the points. Give me, as much as I don't want to take an over that high this year, especially. I'll take the over in this one. Boys, what Chiefs receivers are we putting in our lineup this week, if any?
I like Juju. He's the only one I'm playing.
We've done this every week so far. I've taken Juju the last couple. He's put up 13.9 and 9.6 over those last 2 weeks. I'm riding with Juju again out of the 3 wide receivers.
It's got to be asked every week. I mean, because there's people out there that have their Mecoles, MVSs, Jujus. They got to know.
Wayne.
Yep.
Mac Hollins or any Chiefs receiver not named Juju?
Matt Collins.
Man, yeah, I'm with him. Mac Hollins.
Okay. Clyde Edwards-Helaire or Isaiah Pacheco or Jerick McKinnon?
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah, CEH.
That one's an easy one, I think.
Who scores more fantasy points? Devontae Adams or Travis Kelce?
Oof. That's a
That's a good one. I'm going with Devontae, though.
Man, Devontae
I think
Adams.
they're going to need Travis Kelce to help on the edge more.
I'm going to probably take Travis Kelce in this one.
I'm with Wayne. Give me Devontae. KC's been kind of a friendly fantasy defense, right? They give them the 4th most running back points, 10th most wide receiver points. Las Vegas is one of the staunchest defense against tight ends, weirdly enough. They've been a leaky bucket everywhere else.
They may have just not really faced anyone with, a strong tight end.
Wayne,
Let me look at it. Chargers,
Wayne,
Arizona, Titans, Denver. So, no, they haven't faced anyone with a great tight end.
There you go. There's your answer.
They also have arguably the best tandem of edge rushers, so a lot of the times tight ends got to stay home when you play the Raiders.
Wayne, Kelce or Andrews this week? Andrews against the Bengals, Kelce against Raiders. Okay. How do you feel about our doink, by the way? You still feel good about it?
What was it?
Our Kelce Andrews, whoever finishes better.
Oh, yeah, I feel great about it.
I think I'm up right now.
As of right now. Also, Wayne, going back to yours, one of those 2 edge rushers is going to be out for 10 weeks. 8 to 10 weeks, to be exact. Joey Bosa.
For the Chargers?
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders have Chandler Jones and Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking
where
the
you
wrong
at,
divisional
man?
matchup.
Yeah, I was like, which one of them got injured? I missed that.
I'm surprised you didn't just hit me with a, all right, man.
No, yeah, Matt Mob, for those of you that don't watch the YouTube channel, you just miss the faces we make when things like that are said.
Yep.
We both just kind of stared at Goni like, what? I was looking at my notes like, what? Am I stupid? Or no, Goni's stupid. Okay, good.
No, it's me. It's me.
Hey,
these things happen.
Hey, Wayne, I'm gonna give you a once-in-a-lifetime chance here. Kelce on the year is 10 more fantasy points than Mark Andrews. I'll give you an opportunity to get out of our doink bet if you want to right now.
Is that
cool,
fear
man?
I smell?
I'm offering a lifeline to Wayne. Let's see if he takes it.
No.
What?
Okay.
No, boy, 10 toes down.
All right. I like it. I respect it. Goni, I'm not like you, man. Right? I don't bank on things like cancer.
Why? What? Who rescinds a doink when they're up, especially?
I'm just asking Wayne on air.
He's nervous.
I'm giving him an opportunity to reconsider. I just want to see where his head's at. I'm not nervous.
Boots are shaking.
I was the one who offered the doink. Why would I be nervous?
His knees are
You're
weak and his
asking to
palms
take
are
it
sweaty.
back.
I'm not asking him to take it back. I'm giving him a once-in-a-lifetime chance to reconsider it.
There's vomit on his sweater already.
Yeah. It looks like mom's spaghetti.
The things we
He's
do
nervous,
for entertainment.
but on the surface, he looks
How
calm
would I
and
be
ready.
nervous?
He does look calm and ready, but he's not dropping any bombs.
And he keeps on forgetting that
Not
Andrew's
Bob.
better.
It was for entertainment purposes. I'm not afraid. I'll double down and put another doink on the existing doink. That's how confident I am.
You look like you are afraid to take a stand.
Okay.
Everybody, don't hold this man's hand. All right, I'm done.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right, moving
Let's
on,
do
boys.
some CTFL or
Let's
something. Or DFS.
let's get the DFS in. Last week was a close one. We were all within 10 points of each other. I came in last. Goni came in second. Begley came in first. Begley dropped 130. Goni 127. Myself 120. Very close. That puts us overall at Begley in the lead at +1. Me in second at 0, and Goni in last at -1.
Russell Wilson, man. If Russell Wilson would have just led a touchdown drive, Mike Boone dropped a 30-yard bomb on 4th down to just seal my fate. If Russell Wilson would have came down and scored that touchdown, I'd be sitting in. We'd be tied. We'd all be tied.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
it's
we're not
okay.
going,
No
and you're in last.
Didn't happen. Yeah. Let's get on with it.
I'll go first, and I mentioned it on a previous show. I'm taking value at QB this week. Give me Teddy Bridgewater against the New York Jets for 6,400. Too good to pass up.
Man, he is great for the passing up, to be honest with you. But, I went ahead. I did the absolute opposite. I spent up on this. I took Josh Allen, most expensive quarterback, for $9,000, playing against Pittsburgh. I expect a slaughter. This man is going to try and further cement his MVP status, and I like it.
I went on the more expensive end myself with the quarterback this week, which I haven't been doing, and it's been murdering me. I went with Jalen Hurts against Arizona for 8,600.
Wow, I like that one.
I was going back and forth between him and Allen. I'm not going to lie.
I like it. I like it a lot. For running back, I'm going with Dalvin Cook, a guy that I'm on the podcast not totally liking, but I think Dalvin's going to get 20 carries. I don't think there's any doubt about it. I'm going Alvin Kamara for 7,000 against Seattle. This is really a play against Seattle. New Orleans, Mark Ingram's banged up. Latavius Murray's there. He's only competing with Tony Jones. Mike Thomas is out. I'm taking a chance.
All right. I took Dalvin Cook as well for 7,300. I'm with you on it. And I took James Robinson for 8,000 against Houston. Probably the worst rush defense in the game right now. Give me James Robinson.
Boys, the trifecta of Dalvin Cook. I took Dalvin Cook as well. I went with my floor is scary, but my ceiling is pretty spicy. I went with Ramondre Stevenson for 6,000.
I like it.
Going against a not so good Detroit team. I think Bill Belichick tries to milk the clock with their third string quarterback under center.
Really like that pick, Wayne. I think you're okay. I went with Chris Olave for 6,900. Again, I'm trying to take advantage of that Seattle matchup. With Mike Thomas almost certainly not going to play. I think at least some Olave targets. I went with Tyreek Hill for 8,400 against the Jets. I spent here. Love the matchup against New York. Then my last receiver is Deebo Samuel against Carolina. 73.
So you took the stack there, the Teddy B Tyreek stack. I went ahead and pulled a stack of my own. Took Stephon Diggs, 8,600, going against Pittsburgh. I think he absolutely tears it up. I went with Chris Godwin at 7,000. May have to come off of him if he ends up not playing. He got plenty of targets, plenty of receptions last week. They're playing against Atlanta. I'm looking for Tampa Bay to score. And then I had to start gaining a little value because I spent so much money on these first 5 guys. Robert Woods, though, for Tennessee against Washington. Washington has a bad secondary. Traylon Burks, is going to be out of the game. Robert Woods is going to be the guy. And I'm just hoping for a tutty.
Gentlemen, this is probably my favorite week of DFS lineups. We are all very like-minded this week. My first guy, I'm going with Mike Evans. I think he finds the end zone again this week, like he does almost every single week. It seemed like Tom Brady finally is getting his flow going. Begley, I'm with you. I got Chris Olave in there against the Seahawks. This seems like the Seahawks are always in shootouts. Michael Thomas is out. I think he's going to benefit. Here I got some good value. Gabe Davis, he's going to make a return. He's going to make a return for me. Isaiah McKenzie banged up. And I agree. I think Josh Allen's going to absolutely demolish the Steelers. Look for Gabe Davis to have a comeback this week for me.
I like it. I went with Kyle Pitts at tight end for 5,600, although it's looking like he's not going to play. So if that happens, we will reconfigure the lineup. That's going to actually kind of hurt me if he doesn't play. But Tampa's been kind of they got some holes against tight ends this year. Brandon Cooks for 6,800 in my flex against Jacksonville. I think Houston may have to throw to keep up in this game. And I went with the Vikings defense for 4,300 in the weekly tradition of fading Chicago's offense.
All right. I went ahead and I took Logan Thomas for the tight end spot, 5,200. Still looking for value around here. They're playing against Tennessee. As I mentioned, I took Robert Woods. Logan Thomas is playing against the 27th worst ranked against the tight ends, basically, in Tennessee. So I like him there for 5,200. In the flex, I took Kareem Hunt at 5,900, playing against the Chargers. I'm thinking that the Browns are going to be down at some point in the third or fourth. I'm going to have like 2 points probably going into the late third, early fourth quarter, and I'm looking for Kareem Hunt to absolutely just PPR people to death, gain some value, hopefully score a touchdown. And then I punted on defense. I took the Seahawks for 3,100 against New Orleans. I'm just hoping that the injuries to, Kamara and Jameis kind of just hinder that offense. So I kind of punted there.
All right. I went with Tyler Higbee at tight end for 5,500 against Dallas. I think that we kind of touched on it a little bit. I feel like Cooper Kupp got too heavily relied on this past week. I think they're going to try and spread it out a little bit more, and hopefully Higbee just gets a few on the board. My flex, I'm going with Christian Kirk against the Texans. I like this one. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to have a great game against Houston. And for my defense, I'm staying in the game. I'm taking the Jaguars defense against the Texans. That Jags defense has been great. We touched on it, in Goni's grabs. It's the first defense that was discussed this year. They've been playing great, and they're going against a not great offense. So I think there's actually points to be had in my defensive slot. So, Begley, you want to go ahead and run through your lineup real quick?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Teddy B at QB, Dalvin Cook at running back, Alvin Kamara, assuming he plays, Chris Olave, Tyreek Hill, assuming he plays, Debo, Kyle Pitts, Brandon Cooks, and Minnesota's defense.
And your weekly winning lineup, Josh Allen at quarterback, Dalvin Cook and James Robinson at running back, Stephon Diggs, Chris Godwin, Robert Woods at wide receiver, Logan Thomas at tight end. The flex is Kareem Hunt. In defense, we're punting with Seattle.
GG's, Goni. My quarterback is Jalen Hurts. Got Dalvin Cook, Ramondre Stevenson, Mike Evans, Chris Olave, Gabe Davis, Tyler Higbee, Christian Kirk, and the Jaguars defense.
It's a good lineup, Wayne. That might be the best lineup you put together. I like it.
I played around a lot of times with a few of the guys you have in there, Ramondre and Mike Evans in particular.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, I'm on the outside looking in this week, I think.
He got his 1 point, and we're hoping to take it away from him, Wayne.
Yeah, I've been Stedward Edward this entire season, Goni.
You have.
No worse than 2.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I don't argue with stats and facts. That's a fact.
It's hard to.
That's it. That's it for the week 5 preview. Do we have any Reddit jammies?
We do have some Reddit jammies. Give me just 1 second. Let me fire them up.
Love it. Absolutely
We're a
love it.
podcast for the people, right? We're here for the people, man. It's that time of year where people are looking to shake things up. They started out 1-3, 0-4, right? It's do or die season, and we're here for you. Okay, we got a couple Dynasty questions. Dynasty Dave 16. Would you trade a 2023 1, likely mid to back end, for Rashad Bateman?
No, I don't think so.
Probably not. I don't think I do either. The volume's not there. It's tough because, he's the number one there. But let me just take a look to confirm. All right. 2, 4, 2, 3. That's his reception count thus far over the season. It's just such a small passing pie there. you don't know if they could use one of their picks to draft a wide receiver next year. So
And that would
I
put
don't
him
know.
in the
We'll
dirt.
see. Yeah, I don't like it though. Not for a first rounder, regardless of where it's at.
Okay. I agree. Con the Dungeon Master, 10-team PPR. He says he's in a win now season. Absolutely has to win now. Give CEH, Kittle, and a 23-1 for Mark Andrews and a 24 third. CEH, Kittle, and a 1 for Mark Andrews and a third.
Yeah.
Goney's smashing it, Wayne.
Yeah, win now for sure.
10-team also. That the depth, CEH and Kittle.
CEH shouldn't be
especially-
starting in a 10-team.
No, exactly. The CEH is a depth piece in a 10-man, and Kittle you can't get on the field. So get yourself a top 2 tight end that can win you weeks. Really,
The only thing that should be happening in your lineup after that trade is a massive upgrade at tight end.
yeah, set it and forget it.
Agreed. Darius Slayton, wide receiver 1. He's just doing a quick gut check here. 14-team, PPR, 1 QB. Goney, I'll start with you. Javonta and 223 first for Brees. He's getting Javonta and 2 1s for Brees Hall. You're slamming it, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, 110%.
yeah. Every time out of every time.
Yeah. 10 bands, 50 bands. 12-team, 1 QB. Soft rebuild. Wayne, he's giving Devonta. He's getting Chris Godwin and a mid to late 23-1. I'm sorry, Chris Godwin and a mid to late 23-2, or he can get a mid to late 23-1 and a 23-2 for Devonta. If I need to repeat that, tell me. So you can either get a first and second for Devonta, or you can get Godwin in the second.
Is he winning now?
Soft rebuild.
I don't think soft rebuild is so. I'm a rebuild or win now type of guy. Soft rebuilds take way too long.
Give me picks. Give me them picks.
Yeah,
Wayne,
I don't
are you
want Chris
taking them
Godwin.
things?
yeah. Just don't softly do it. Just go all in. If you're gonna rebuild.
Jump in the pool, man. Just don't dip the toes. Just jump
Yeah,
already.
you're just prolonging the inevitable, and you're causing yourself more pain, man. Just if you're gonna rebuild, just do it.
Yep. Totally agree. I'm in a full rebuild in one of my leagues as well. It's just me and Antonio Brown in the pool, man. Come on and hop in. Jeff 8073X. Wayne. Man. What?
Don't just say a joke like that, then casually slide by like.
Right. You're just gonna leave this behind. You're just gonna crop dust us
come
with that
get in
joke.
this pool with me and AB. No, I'm not. I'm not going to get in the pool with AB.
I don't want any part of that, man. Why are you in the pool?
Jeff 8073X. Wayne, I'm going to start with you as the Superflex expert on this podcast. 12
You call me the
team
Superflex expert?
12-team Superflex 5 flex. Full PPR, tight end premium. This league's got the most complicated scoring I may have ever heard of. He's giving Javonta, and he's getting Jamal Williams, a second, and James Cook.
No. I'm not doing it.
He said he's competing-ish.
No, see, you're not competing-ish. That's not a thing. If you're competing-ish, you're not competing. Just
What if he is competing? Do you do the trade for Jamal?
if he's a top 3 team, if you can look, we'll go by Goney's set standard here. If you can look at every roster in your league and you're a top 3 team, you're a lock for the playoffs, and you think you're among the top 3, then then make the trade. But if you're not in that category, then go ahead and hang on to Javonte Williams.
Going Jamal?
Same. Yeah, no, I'm Wayne summed it up right there. I'm 100% with him on that.
Okay. Self high five. Super flex question. So, Wayne, I'm going to start with you. It is also a tight end premium. Give Damian Pierce, it's a 10 team. That's important. Give Damian Pierce, get a 24-1, a 25-2, and Devin Duvernay.
No. Too far out. Draft picks are too far out. Damian Pierce, he's the one. He's the one in Houston, and he's doing good. I don't think they have any reason to give him to add to the backfield at all in Houston. Look for him to just be consistent fantasy value for a couple years.
Goni?
Yeah, I'm with Wayne. You keep Damian Pierce. If you got Damian Pierce, whether it be in you picked him in your rookie draft or you did a startup this year, the man's been a gem. You got him late first, probably in the second, depending on where you drafted or when you did your rookie draft this year. Some people do it earlier than others. Yeah, he's a gem at the running back position on a bad team, and he's getting the work. He's gotten more work every week, and he's only gotten better. I'm with Wayne. Those picks are too far out, man. You don't want to delay that.
It could be like this past draft. If you didn't, honestly, it's just Breece Hall. If you didn't have the number one pick from a running back perspective, you got no value. If you didn't have the number one overall pick, you've got no value.
Said.
I'm not chancing that 2 years, 3 years out.
Totally agree. Well said. I agree. I'm with Goni there. Well said, Wayne. Deck in 10-team Superflex PPR. Wayne, I'm going to start with you first as the czar of all things Superflex. Who would you rather have of the three running backs? Jeff Wilson, Singletary, or Kareem Hunt?
It has nothing to do with Superflex.
I was just thinking the same thing. Nothing to do with Superflex.
Is it a dynasty?
It is a dynasty.
Jeff Wilson, Kareem Hunt, who?
Singletary. Devin Singletary.
See, I'm loving Kareem Hunt next year. Wherever he goes, I'm loving him.
Is that your guy?
I think that's my guy. I think that's who I'm going with.
Goni?
Yeah, it's between Kareem Hunt and Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary's real difficult to come off of. Honestly, I like Singletary a lot. I love the offense. I don't care about James Cook or his role in the offense right now. But I mean, Wayne does have a great point with it. I definitely see his point of view. I think that Kareem Hunt is the higher upside player. Begrudgingly, I'll take Kareem Hunt as well for the fact that he can be a number one guy. I think he's got similar value to Singletary now, honestly, on a week-to-week basis. So he's still got juice in the tank. He could go somewhere and be a number one next year, and he still possesses a great skill set.
I totally agree. Buffalo did not draft James Cook to let him sit behind Devin Singletary. Young XPR. The rare 3-team trade. This is a super flex league. So Wayne, I'm going to start with you. Tell me what you think about A, B, and C here. Okay, just give me just a quick synopsis of your gut. Team A, Breece Hall in 2 23-1s. Team B, Jamar Chase. Team C, Jahan Dotson and Jalen Waddle.
Team
How
A.
you feel about the Breece Hall in the 2-1s, Jamar Chase, or Dotson and Waddle?
Team A is winning.
Okay.
Team B is in second. Team C is in third.
Goni?
Man, Wayne's probably right. I mean, I'd like to have Jamar Chase over everyone in that situation, but I'm thinking of for them to get those picks, they probably had to give up Chase and Waddle. And if that's the case, that's not worth it to me to get Breece Hall and 2 firsts for a Jamar Chase and a Jalen Waddle. I don't know. Give me Jamar Chase.
Yeah, let me ask you a question, Gone. And let me ask you this as somebody who we co-own a team where we own Jamar Chase. If a trade comes through the pipeline and it's Brees Hall and 2 mid-firsts. You're not taking it?
For Jamar Chase?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, but not for Jamar Chase and Jalen Waddle, who we both possess also.
Okay, so you're just saying from this trade scenario that guy's probably giving up Jamar Chase in a first or Jamar Chase and Dotson. What if he's giving up Jamar Chase and Jahan Dotson? You do that still, right?
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
I'm assuming somebody's giving up Jalen in a first and somebody's giving up Brees in a first.
He doesn't say.
But that's if you're just seeing who's coming out winning, I think it's Brees and the 2 firsts come out the best. Jamar Chase comes out second. The guy that got Jalen and Jahan is the worst of the 3.
I completely agree with you, Wayne. Just a couple more here, and we will wrap it up.
Also had nothing to do with the Superflex.
Brow T 1994, 10-team, 3-flex dynasty. He said his team is not consistent enough to compete this year. And Goni, since this is not a super flex, we'll start with you. Give Jonathan Taylor, Naheem Hines, get Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 23 first. Mid-first.
Is that enough? I don't think that's enough.
It's not enough.
No.
I'd at least ask for a second at a minimum.
Yeah, I mean, you got to tack something on. They're trying to buy low and sell high at the same time, which is excellent. Great strategy by the guy that's trying to do this. But I think I'd keep Jonathan Taylor. As Wayne mentioned before, we threw out the stat. Jonathan Taylor's 21st in fantasy points going into this week. He was like 22nd last year in fantasy points. He rattled off like 8 100-yard games, crushed it in the back half of the year, and was far and away the RB1. He's going to have to prove it to me all year that he's not the same guy, and I just don't believe that he isn't the same guy yet. That's not enough value for me.
Wayne?
No, it is the worst time to trade Jonathan Taylor. Whoever's trying to trade you puts you in an absolute mind blender. So good on that guy. But also, I mean, good on you to not smash the accept. Obviously, you had the foresight of knowing that Jonathan Taylor has the capability of being amazing. That guy's he's sending a trade at the best possible time where Amon-Ra's at his value's at an all time high and JT's at an all time low. I'm holding here, not even thinking twice about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Wayne, that's a good point, man. I know sometimes we all do it. Sometimes you need it. It's just somebody else's opinion about a trade. Necro 2, 12-team PPR, gone. Side A gets Debo and James Conner. Side B gets CeeDee Lamb.
Give me the Debo side. And I'll tell you also another reason why I would take the Debo side is something that I'd actually heard from talking fantasy football with someone. If Debo hits a certain amount of threshold this year for carries, there is a chance that he could have dual eligibility next year as a wide receiver and running back, similar to how Cordarrelle Patterson did. And that alone is extremely valuable. He's already the engine to this team. He can put up a big play. He can take a screen 70 yards to the house anytime, any given time. So, I mean, if you have that and you're able to put him in a running back spot just in the future, that is something few players in the league possess. So that's partially driving that side for me and giving it the edge.
Yeah, I'm smashing that. I'm taking Debo all day, every day, and then trying to off James Conner for a second. Personally,
I totally disagree with you guys, man, on this one. I'm not being a homer. I'm just looking at CD's target share, third best in the league right now. He's doing it with Cooper Rush on a team that doesn't have a lot of offensive snaps. CD's he's a dude, man. I mean, he's showing the wide receiver 1 potential we all drafted him on. Debo's looking like a wide receiver 2 right now. I don't know, man.
I get it, but Dak scares me, man. If you told me that Cooper Rush was going to be under center the rest of the year, I would be more confident in CD.
When did Dak go out? Did Dak go out in week 2
1.
or week 3?
Dak went out week 1 against Tampa.
Yeah,
He went out week 1. Okay, yeah. So week 1 in Tampa, 4.9 points for CeeDee Lamb. Cooper Rush comes in. He has 15, 22, and 21. So Wayne might be onto something with that. With the Cooper Rush effect.
But he had, I get it. Dak had a horrendous game. CeeDee Lamb still got 11 targets. Dak played atrocious.
Yeah, 11 terrible targets, dude. Dak is not an accurate passer. He's been trending that way.
CD's also got rocks for hands at times. Like he should have had an easy 40, 50-yard touchdown in one of those games, or just doinked off his hands, and he it went from a great game. It could have been a monster game, a weak winner.
Yeah, you're right about rock for hands. And now, Wayne, you know how I feel. I do like Cooper Rush. Dak is pretty erratic at times. The CD's a wide receiver 1. He's 3 years younger than Debo. He's only 23 years old. He's a baby. He's going to be locked into Dallas. He's going to be tied to Dak or somebody for a long time. Give me CeeDee Lamb, man. Give me the 3 years of youth all day here.
Wide receiver, though, that's not a position where I necessarily care about that. You're talking about a lifespan that lasts until 30 years old, even, where they're extremely productive. So, I mean, they peak generally around the age 26, 27 year, and it's just not like running backs. It's not like running backs. 22 or 23 years old compared to 25 or 26 doesn't make a difference to me when it comes to wide receivers, personally.
I mean, to me, give me the stable full of young wide receivers with promise, and I'll try to draft running backs.
It's fair.
It's just one less position I got to worry about. All right, so you heard it there. We got two for the Debo side, 1 for the CD side. We got 2 more, and we will make it quick. Drew England, 10-team standard dynasty. Goni, as our standard expert. T. Higgins for 2 ones and Tony Pollard, but they're late ones.
T. Higgins for 2 firsts and Pollard?
Yeah.
In a standard, I'm smashing that. This is standard as in not PPR, it's just yardage and touchdowns, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, give me the picks. T. Higgins. Come on now.
God, standard scoring, the value of
Gross.
Running backs soars and the value of wide receivers plummets.
Okay, fair enough. Last one, Sirius Union 6371, 12 teams super flex. Wayne, I'm going to kick it to you. It's 0.75 point PPR. Somebody just getting cute. Joe Mixon for Garrett Wilson. Waynejamin, are you doing it?
No, I'm a running back guy. Give me my running back value.
Garrett Wilson for Joe Mixon.
Yep.
Can I just say before I answer that, none of these had even the slightest inkling of anything having to do with the super flex all night.
Well, sure it does, because your flex players are a little less valuable, right? Because you're playing the QB there, so you don't have as many spots for skill position guys.
I suppose that's a good way of putting it. It's just I expect a quarterback question, which we don't usually get because the quarterback's always going into super flex, even if it's Turd Ferguson, he's going in the flex. With that being said, I'm with Wayne. Give me Joe Mixon.
It's just Wayne is so good at breaking down the intricacies and nuances of super flex and player values. The rankings he put out at the beginning of this year were tremendous. I like the Garrett Wilson side, personally. But you guys have heard my argument. I think Garrett Wilson looks like a top 10 draft pick, which is what he was. Zach Wilson may not be as bad as we thought. Don't he? We surrounded him with talent.
It's one game, man. We'll see.
Garrett Wilson is definitely solid. I just give me the scarcity of a running back. Running backs are hard to come by. Wide receivers are easy to replace. Give me a solid running back that gets high volume.
Does Joe Mixon? Sorry, Wayne, I didn't mean to cut you off. Does Joe Mixon look a little worse to you guys, or is the offensive line just that bad?
The offensive line hasn't been good by any means. That's for sure. It's affecting the whole offense, right? I mean, let's just call a spade on that. The whole offense doesn't look good, and it starts with the O-line.
That being said, this past week they looked the best they've ever looked. So if we can get some more of that, we'll see.
Okay. That is it for our Q&As.
Always a good time.
Podcast for the people.
Podcast for the people. Gentlemen, best of luck. Don't have any weekly doinks this week, do we?
We do not.
So disappointing.
What a shame.
It really is, man. You don't know how hard I cheered for Drake London and Brandon Ayuk the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Nothing. We can't think of anything.
No, we're all pretty like-minded. You can tell by our DFS lineups, man. We're all in sync this week.
Man. All right. Well, there it is, Mad Mob. Playing it safe for LVP.